You know, guys, I know it's taken a while, 12 episodes to be exact, but I think I've finally found my waifu, and it's a shame because just as I'm starting to fall in love, as quickly as it came, it went because the show's over and there's nothing I can do about it. So this is the last episode of Wise Man's Grandchild, and although I have a lot of mixed feelings about the show, I think generally positive. And this episode, generally positive. It starts off right where the last one left off, and Maria shows up and she just starts wrecking shop, and I fell in love. She's the waifu now, guys. I was like, yeah, kill those kids. I was on her side. She starts fighting the ultimate magicians. She starts taking them out, and I could watch her pound these kids into the ground all day, every day. Oh my god. Like, first of all, I agree. Those kids are arrogant. I don't know who I'm agreeing with, but I think they're arrogant. They're self-centered. They only care about themselves, especially Og. And it was nice to see someone knock them down a peg. I was like, yeah, take them down. Destroy them. I wanted to see more of it. I hoped she had killed at least 2 of them, but none of them died because why would they? They're the heroes, whatever, self-centered jerks. And I know I'm coming on a bit strong on my hate of them, but that's just because I'm Team Maria now. I love Maria now, so I have to hate them. They're the bad guys in this story. She's the hero, and you're not going to convince me otherwise because that's really the best thing to happen in this episode. She has her fun, but then Shin shows up, ruining the party for everyone because he's like, hey, you have to stop fighting my friends. And she's like, well, I guess I'll retreat. And they retreat. All the demons retreat. And you know what? Shin ruins it for everyone, man. It would have been great. It would have been amazing, but whatever. And after that, the episode doesn't really do much. It was such a highlight very early on, but nothing really happens after that. There's a few things here and there, but ultimately it's just them saying, oh, we're the best, and them patting themselves on the back and showing that Shin is awesome every time, every chance they get. And like, a big example of that is with Blue's story in this episode, because in the last one, she was sent to the sick bay. She was sent to like the wounded camp where all the people that are injured are, and she's been helping people. And in this one, there's someone that she can't help. There's someone who's mortally wounded and they're dying and there's nothing she can do about it, and she's crying and she has to face the lesson, face the truth that you can't save everyone. And I thought that would be good for her character to experience, good for them to actually deal with loss and heartbreak and just ineptitude and just knowing that although they're powerful, they're human. But no, forget that. What do we want? Lessons in our show, Kevin? Barf. No, she can't do it. But you know who can do everything? Shin. Because we can't have Shin be a worse healer than Blue because he's the main character. He's the wise man's grandchild. He's got all the sauce in the universe, and that's all that scene was for. Is not to have her deal with loss, is not to have her deal with heartache or learn hard truths. It's just for her to say, yeah, Shin, you're amazing, and there's nothing any one of us can do about it. And I get that's ultimately the point of the show, right? It's a power trip. I just hated that they shoved it down your throat so much, especially at this last episode. And then after that, they're just like, all right, well, we're heroes now. Bye, kingdom. And they take off and they acknowledge that they could have portaled there. Okay, they acknowledge in the sense that like, oh, we could have saved more lives had we portaled, but Shin can't portal here because he's never been here before. That's our excuse, but I don't buy that. And here's why. The wise man was there and he must have portaled there. They've shown that he can open portals. And I don't buy for 1 second he didn't portal there. And had they had the thought, or had the show been like, oh yeah, we don't want them to just fly and have fun. We want them to go to the wise man, say, hey, open this portal and go and save lives. Whatever. It was a cop-out that proved that that the writing was poor, and they didn't help their case in my opinion, but whatever. They bring that up. They, further damn themselves. And then the show ends. There's this whole thing about like, oh, we're going to go off and save the world and start making alliances with other kingdoms so that we can fight the demons. And that's fine, I guess. They're patting themselves on the back. But they have no real plan. They just fly off like the Power Rangers, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, bye guys. Forget the high school life, but not really, because at the post-credit scene, they come back because they're like, oh yeah, we didn't have a plan. Want want. Okay, show. I don't know what you're doing to me, but okay. And then Og continues his tradition of being the worst when it comes to his little sister and his fiance, because they see him. They come back to their kingdom and they hug him and they're glad he's alive and they're like happy that he came back to them. And the first thing he says to them, the first thing he says to his fiance and his little sister, who were worried that he was going to die on this mission, the first thing he says is, "This is no place for you. Barf." I added the barf, I'm paraphrasing, but it's what he meant. And I just didn't like that. I don't like Og. I don't like the main characters. Team Maria, Team Demonoids, take them all down. Speaking of the Demonoids, they cut back to them, which is supposed to be set up for the novels or future seasons that probably won't happen. And they're talking about how, like, oh, we're going to go get Shin next time. You know, next time, Gadget, all that good jazz. But then Strom turns to Maria and he's like, hey, what about that other project we're working on? And she's like, time will tell. And I guess it's implied that Strom wants to have a baby with Maria so that the baby could be the future of the Demonoids or whatever. But you know what, man? I get it, man. Baby and Maria, I'm there. She's a fictional character, Kevin. Please control yourself. But that's all I have to talk about. That's the best part of this scene, and ultimately probably the best part of the show. that Demonoid character. I don't know. I'm in love. This is a bias review. I'm sorry. I'm gonna move on. The point I'm trying to make is they go off to become like the world saviors or whatever, and I don't care. I mean, I get that the point of this or these type of shows are to get you jazzed for like future seasons or like to make you go read the novel, but I'm not going to, ultimately because Wise Man's Grandchild is really just a generic anime. And now that I'm getting into my thoughts on the series as a whole, you know, I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not great. It is generic. The writing's poor. There are a lot of plot holes, and it is a power fantasy for Shin, who comes from Earth, but they'll just never bring that up again. But it is what it is. Like, I think this is the type of show anime fans watch. Like, really only anime fans watch, is what I mean to say. In that it's so formulaic, but it is comforting. It's like when you rewatch your favorite sitcoms over and over again. Wise Man's Grandchild is when you rewatch, it's like you're rewatching the same formula over and over again because it's comforting. And that's what this show is. It's just a nice, fun, short, ultimately harmless anime about a bunch of sexist kids going off and fighting demons. I know they don't explicitly call them sexist, but the proof is in the pudding, man. Come on. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say on this episode. All I have to say about Wise Man's Grandchild in general. I can't tell you if it's worth your time. It was worth my time. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm having a lot of fun talking about it right now. I wish I had more time with my waifu, Maria. I know she came out in other episodes, but this is the only time when I really appreciated her role, which really was just pounding the main characters into the ground. More of that. More of that, please. Sign me up. Have a good day, guys. Be safe. And be sure to like and subscribe if you want. I'm not going to make you. I'm not your dad or your boss. Just have a good day. Be sure to not be sexist and fight demonoids when you get the chance. I know it's dangerous, but if you have a shin in your life, there's no problem. Have a good day.